The explosion ripped through the Afghan night like a demon's roar, hurling Sergeant Alex Rivera into the dust-choked air, his world exploding into shards of fire and screams. Bullets whined past his helmet as he scrambled toward the crumpled figure of General Harlan Thorpe, the brass's golden boy, pinned under a jeep's twisted wreckage, blood pooling dark against the sand. In that heartbeat, Alex knew: save the general, or watch the man who commanded thousands bleed out alone, and damn the consequences of who Alex really was. Alex's gloved hands clawed at the mangled metal, ignoring the searing pain in his shoulder where shrapnel had kissed him. "Hang on, sir. I've got you," he shouted over the crackle of flames and distant gunfire, his voice steady despite the chaos clawing at his gut. Thorpe's eyes, usually steel-cold in briefings, flickered with raw terror, not the polished commander's gaze, but a man's, stripped bare. Alex wedged his boot against the frame, heaving with everything he had, muscles screaming as the jeep groaned and shifted just enough. One more pull, and Thorpe was free, gasping, clutching at the sand like it was salvation. "Rivera, you," Thorpe rasped, his uniform shredded, face ashen under the grime. Alex dragged him behind a low dune, slapping a tourniquet around the general's thigh where the bone poked through like an accusation. Medevac choppers thumped in the distance, but they were minutes away, too long in Taliban territory. Alex fired off covering shots from his M4, each burst a prayer, his mind flashing to the letters in his bunk back at base. Notes from Jamie, his partner stateside, words that kept him human amid the desert's indifference. The general grabbed Alex's arm, gripped vice tight. "Why risk it? You could have run." Thorpe's voice was a gravel whisper, laced with something Alex couldn't place. Gratitude? Suspicion? Alex met his eyes, unflinching. "Because it's my job, sir. And because no one gets left behind." It was the Army creed, but for Alex, it ran deeper, forged in the fires of a childhood where his father's bigotry had left him scavenging for scraps of acceptance. Saving Thorpe wasn't just duty. It was defiance against a world that still whispered he'd never belong. As the chopper's downdraft whipped sand into cyclones, medics swarmed them. Alex slumped against the dune, the adrenaline crash hitting like a freight train. Thorpe was loaded first, stabilized, barking orders even as they strapped him down. Before the doors slammed shut, the general locked eyes with Alex one last time. A nod, sharp and loaded, like a promise or a warning. Then he was gone, rotors slicing the night, leaving Alex in the dust with a commendation he could feel coming and a secret burning hotter than the wreckage. Back at Bagram, the hospital smelled of bleach and regret. Alex's shoulder was stitched up, a purple badge of honor, but the real wound festered elsewhere. Whispers slithered through the ranks. The queer sergeant, the one with the rainbow pin hidden in his civvies drawer, had pulled the brass from the jaws of death. Command moved fast, too fast. Colonel Vargas, Alex's CO, a stone-faced vet with a mustache like a broom bristle, summoned him to the office at dawn, the air thick with stale coffee and unspoken judgments. "Sit down, Rivera." Vargas slid a folder across the desk, his eyes avoiding Alex's. Inside, a classified memo, stamped eyes only. "You did good out there. Damn good. But this stays buried. General Thorpe's orders, direct from him. No medals, no stories, no nothing. You breathe a word, and it's your career. Or worse." Alex's stomach twisted. Buried? He'd dragged a man from hell, felt Thorpe's pulse falter under his fingers, shared that raw, unfiltered moment. Now it was erased, like it never happened. "Why, sir?" Alex's voice cracked, the first fracture in his armor. Vargas leaned forward, voice dropping to a hiss. "Because the general's got enemies, Rivera. Brass who smell weakness. And you're not exactly poster boy material for the recruitment vids." The words landed like punches, not just about the save, but about Alex's file, the quiet inquiries from Jag after a bar fight in Kandahar where he'd defended a trans private from slurs. Vargas sighed, almost human for a split second. "Look, kid, you're one of the best I've got. But in this man's army, some truths are collateral damage." Alex saluted, crisp as ever, and marched out into the compound's glare. The desert wind mocked him, carrying echoes of laughter from the mess hall. He thought of Jamie's last email. "Come home whole, mi amor. We've got a life waiting. White picket fence, adoption papers, the works. Jamie, with his easy smile and artist's hands, who saw Alex not as a soldier or a secret, but as home. But now, this silence gnawed at Alex like a parasite, turning pride to poison. Weeks blurred into patrols and paperwork, the incident fading to rumor. Thorpe recovered stateside, a ghost in the command chain. Promotions whispered, but no mention of the sergeant who'd bought him time. Alex threw himself into training the newbies, his squad of misfits. Lena, the lesbian intel specialist with a sniper's precision and a laugh that cut through tension. Marcus, the biomechanic who fixed more than engines, patching souls with bad jokes. And Riley, the non-binary comms tech, all sharp wit and hidden scars from a family that'd rather forget them. They gathered in the rec tent one humid evening, cards slapped down amid the hum of fans. Heard the generals back in the Pentagon, strutting like nothing happened, Lena muttered, dealing aces with a flick. And us? Crickets. Marcus snorted, nursing a warm soda. Classic. Heroes get the boot when the cameras roll. Riley leaned in, eyes gleaming. But what if we didn't? What if we leaked it? Anonymous tip to the press. Alex's hand froze mid-reach for chips. The idea sparked, dangerous as a lit fuse. And get drummed out? Nah, we've got enough ghosts. But the seed took root. That night, alone in his bunk, Alex stared at the ceiling, the memo's words looping like a bad dream. Saving Thorpe had been instinct, pure and uncalculated, a bridge across the chasm of rank and identity. Yet the order to silence it felt like erasure, stripping Alex of the one moment where his truth had shone unashamed. He fired off a message to Jamie. Miss you. War's full of secrets I can't keep. The reply pinged back fast. Then don't. You're my hero, Alex. Always. The first crack came during a joint-op briefing, screens flickering with drone feeds. General Thorpe's face appeared via secure link, larger than life, bandaged but imperious. Alex's breath hitched. There he was, the man whose lifeblood had slicked Alex's hands. Their eyes met through the pixels, a jolt like static. Sergeant Rivera, Thorpe said, voice smooth as polished oak, your team's intel has been exemplary. No warmth, no nod to the debt. Just command, cold and compartmentalized. After the link cut, Lena elbowed Alex. He looked at you like you were a puzzle he couldn't solve. Alex forced a grin, or a stain he wants scrubbed. But inside, turmoil brewed. Was the silence protection or shame? Thorpe, the straight-arrow family man with photos of his wife and kids on every desk, couldn't afford a savior who loved men. Or could he? Rumors trickled in. Thorpe's son, Ethan, out and proud in D.C., estranged after a blowout over the family name. Maybe the general knew lost too. Alex's patrol hit a snag 2 days later. Ambush in the Hindu Kush, RPGs turning a supply run to inferno. He shielded Marcus from a blast, shrapnel grazing his cheek, but they made it back bloodied but breathing. In the aid station, as the doc picked glass from his skin, Alex's phone buzzed. Unknown number. We need to talk. Stateside. H.T. Thorpe, the general himself. The flight home was a blur of recycled air and regret. Alex landed in D.C. under cover of autumn leaves turning gold, the city's hum a stark contrast to the desert's hush. Thorpe's aide met him at Dulles, a tight-lipped major with a non-disclosure form thicker than a Bible. The general appreciates your discretion. Alex signed, jaw set, and was whisked to a nondescript Georgetown brownstone. Not the Pentagon's marble halls, but a quiet lair off the grid. Thorpe waited in the study, cane in hand, looking every inch the warrior felled but unbowed. Rivera, sit. Bourbon. The offer hung, disarming. Alex perched on the leather chair, waves of bookshelves closing in like witnesses. Sir, if this is about silencing. Thorpe cut him off with a raised hand, pouring amber liquid into glasses. It's about gratitude. And truth. He slid a photo across the desk. Him and a young man, arms linked at a pride march, dates faded but defiant. Ethan, my boy. He marched because I failed him, told him to hide who he was, like I hide pieces of myself. Alex's world tilted. The general, the icon of straight-laced command, cracked open like dry earth. That night in the sandbox, you didn't just save my life. You reminded me what living means. risking it all for someone who doesn't deserve it. Thorpe's voice thickened, eyes distant. I ordered the blackout to protect you from the vultures who'd twist it into scandal, but mostly to protect myself from facing what I owe. The confession unspooled, Thorpe's marriage a facade, his wife's quiet affairs a mercy, his command to armor against the whispers of his own buried affections, long ago smothered for ambition. Not gay, perhaps, but fluid in ways the army never forgave. Alex listened, heart pounding, seeing not a superior, but a man adrift, much like himself. Sir, permission to speak freely? Thorpe nodded, tense. You don't owe me silence. You owe us both a chance to be seen. Their talk stretched into the night, bourbon loosening knots neither knew they carried. Thorpe spoke of Ethan's rebellion, the letters Alex shared from Jamie, parallels in pain, bridges in vulnerability. By dawn, an alliance formed, fragile as frost. Thorpe would push for reforms from within, Alex his quiet advocate on the ground. But trust, like all things military, came laced with peril. Back in theater, the squad sensed the shift. Lena cornered Alex after chow. You look like you swallowed a grenade and liked it. He chuckled, but the weight pressed. Jamie called that weekend, voice electric. Ethan Thorpe? The activist kid? Babe, you're playing with fire. Alex paced the hooch, satellite delay stretching seconds to eternities. It's not playing. It's real. Thorpe's. Human. Jamie paused, then, just come home. We fight our wars together. The high crashed mid-November, a leaked memo hitting military forums like a storm. Gay sergeant and hero cover up. Anonymous, vicious, dredging Alex's past. The bar fight. The pin, now twisted with the save. Panic rippled through command. Vargas hauled Alex in, face thunderous. Who talked? This could end us all. Alex stonewalled, but doubt gnawed. Thorpe? A mole in the general circle? Or the vultures circling, as promised? Thorpe's secure line crackled that afternoon. It's me. I slipped, told Ethan, thinking it safe. He blogged, coded, but it got out. Regret laced the words, raw. I'm pulling strings to quash it, but Rivera. Run if you have to. Alex's fist clenched the receiver. No, sir. We face it. Together. The pact deepened, a thread pulling them toward reckoning. The squad rallied, a makeshift family forging shields. Marcus hacked traces of the leak, a rival colonel's aide, jealous of Thorpe's rise. Lena drafted op-eds under pseudonyms. Riley spun social media webs to counter the hate. Protests brewed stateside, GLBT vets marching on the mall, signs reading, "Heroes don't hide." Alex watched feeds in the dead of night, Jamie's face among the crowd, megaphone in hand. My sergeant's no secret. He's salvation. Climax brewed in a snow-dusted D.C. hearing room, JAG suits circling like sharks. Thorpe testified first, cane tapping authority, voice booming. Sergeant Rivera acted with valor beyond rank or rumor. Any who questioned the soul of this army. Alex followed, uniform pressed, eyes locked on the panel. I saved a life because it's who I am, not despite loving a man, but because of it. Love teaches courage. Gasps rippled, flashes popped. The room held its breath as Thorpe stood, unbidden, clasping Alex's shoulder. A gesture seismic, broadcast live. This man is my brother in arms, and I'll burn my stars before I let him fade. The alliance bared, prejudices cracking under truth's weight. But twists lingered. Post-hearing, in a quiet diner off Pennsylvania Avenue, Thorpe confessed more. Ethan's not just my son. He's the mirror I avoided. Alex nodded, seeing his own reflections, Jamie's unwavering faith, the squad's fierce loyalty. Mirrors break, sir, but we rebuild. Homecoming blurred into wedding bells. Alex and Jamie, under spring blossoms, Ethan best man with a grin that lit the aisle. Lena walked Marcus down, Riley officiating with vows rewritten for all loves. Thorpe attended incognito, a civilian suit hiding the stars, toasting with tears, to secrets shared and silences shattered. Yet echoes persisted. A final letter from Thorpe. You saved more than my life, Rivera. You saved my soul. Alex framed it beside Jamie's sketches, a testament to battles won not with bullets, but hearts. In the quiet of their Virginia porch, Alex held Jamie close, the world's judgments a distant hum. We made it, he whispered. Jamie smiled, fierce. We always will. The Virginia summers stretched lazy and thick, humidity clinging like old regrets, but for Alex Rivera, they were redemption wrapped in fireflies. 2 years post-discharge with honors that finally stuck, he traded desert fatigues for a contractor's badge, training recruits at Quantico, not commanding, but guiding, his voice carrying the weight of scars earned and shared. Jamie thrived beside him, gallery shows of war-torn portraits drawing crowds who saw not spectacle, but souls. Their home, a fixer-upper with creaky floors and a yard wild with honeysuckle, pulsed with the life they'd clawed back from silence. Ethan Thorpe became family unbidden, crashing weekends with his activist fire, dating a barista named Kai who baked scones that could disarm a drill sergeant. Uncle Alex, he'd tease, you and Dad, the bromance that launched 1,000 op-eds. Alex would ruffle his hair, the kid now 25 and unbreakable, his blog a beacon for queer vets. But beneath the laughter, fault lines simmered. General Harlan Thorpe, retired now, advising senators on inclusive readiness, called weekly, voice a gravel anchor. How's the home front? He'd ask, probing like a debrief. One muggy July evening, as cicadas screamed their symphony, the call came jagged. Rivera, Ethan's missing. Thorpe's words punched through the line, no preamble. Alex froze mid-stir of pasta sauce, Jamie's hand on his back a lifeline. What do you mean, missing? He's in Philly, right? That conference. Thorpe's breath hitched, a sound Alex hadn't heard since the Dune. Conference ended yesterday. No calls, no trace. Kai's frantic, says he got a tip on a story, something big. Underground network for vets, off-grid. Alex's mind raced to combat mode, instincts sharpening. Ethan's dives into shadows weren't new. Exposés on black market psych meds for PTSD, raids on predatory recruiters. But this felt off, a hook baited with peril. Where do I start? He said, already grabbing keys. Jamie's eyes widened, but he nodded, trust forged in letters across oceans. Thorpe rattled coordinates. A dive bar in South Philly, last ping from Ethan's burner. And Alex, keep it quiet. Old enemies don't forget. The drive north blurred highways into streaks, radio humming protest anthems Ethan would have cranked. Alex arrived as neon flickered to life, the bar a squat brick beast exhaling smoke and secrets. Inside, air thick with stale ale and suspicion, he flashed his old ID, enough to loosen tongues. The bartender, a grizzled ex-Marine with tattoos snaking like barbed wire, eyed him. Thorpe's kid? Yeah, he was here. Stirred up the wrong hive, asking about the ghosts. Ghosts. The word chilled, a specter from Alex's past, a rogue cadre of officers, DADT holdouts, who'd buried careers under fabricated scandals. Whispers said they'd gone private now, security firms peddling discretion to brass with skeletons. Ethan, ever the crusader, must have sniffed a trail. The bartender slid a napkin scribbled with an address. Abandoned warehouse in Kensington. But tell 'em I sent you. They'll bury you proper. Back in the car, Alex dialed Lena, now a Fed analyst, her clearance a godsend. Ghosts. Shit, Alex. Those bastards laundered money through vet charities. Ethan's onto their ledger. Her voice crackled urgency. Marcus is nearby, Philly garage gig. I'll loop him. The net tightened. Marcus met him at a gas station, toolkit in tow, his by charm masking a hacker's edge. Little bros in deep. Let's fish him out. The warehouse loomed under sodium lights, chain link rattling in the wind. They slipped through a side gate, shadows their allies, hearts pounding twin rhythms of fear and fury. Inside, crates loomed like tombstones, air fetid with oil and deceit. A muffled groan echoed, Ethan's voice, hoarse. You think threats stop me? The truth's out there. They found him zip-tied to a chair in a makeshift office. Lips split, eyes defiant despite the bruise blooming on his jaw. Two goons, ex-spec ops by their builds, flanked him, one barking into a phone. Yeah, boss. The kid's leverage. Thorpe'll pay to keep his fairy tale quiet. Alex's blood boiled. He signaled Marcus, who lobbed a smoke grenade scavenged from God knows where, choking the room in gray haze. Chaos erupted. Fists flew. Chairs splintered. Alex took a knee to the gut but drove his elbow into a throat, freeing Ethan with a pocket knife's whisper. Marcus zip-tied the goons, grinning through a bloody nose. Family reunion, Thorpe style. They bolted into the night, sirens wailing distant. Ethan's arm slung over Alex's shoulder. Uncle A, you came. Back at a safe house. Lena's crash pad. Ethan spilled. The ghost's ledger, digital dirt on a senator's affair, tied to Thorpe's old command. Dad covered for him once, pre-retirement. Didn't know the rot. The pieces slotted. The leak 2 years back? Not accident, but probe, testing loyalties, seeing if Alex would crack. Thorpe's enemies weren't faceless. They were kin in uniform, twisted by the same prejudices that once silenced Alex. Dawn broke as Thorpe arrived, chauffeured black, face haggard. He crushed Ethan in a hug, whispers fierce, "You idiot. My brave, foolish boy." Then to Alex, eyes wet, "Again. You pull me from the fire. My son this time." Gratitude hung heavy, but so did the fracture. Ethan pulled back, fire unquenched. "Dad, you knew. About the cover-up. How do I trust?" The room tensed, a powder keg of unspoken wounds. Alex stepped in, voice steady. "Trust isn't blind, Ethan. It's built, brick by bloody brick." He turned to Thorpe. "General, full disclosure. Or this cycle spins forever." Thorpe nodded, deflating. "The senator. I shielded him. Youthful indiscretion, I thought. But it festered. Confession poured. Favors called. Blinds drawn. All to preserve the institution that had chewed them all." Jamie arrived by noon, train ticket fresh, wrapping Ethan in blankets and sarcasm. "Kid, next time chase stories with backup. Or cookies." Laughter cracked the ice, but resolve hardened. They pooled forces. Lena traced the ledger to offshore shells. Marcus cracked encryptions. Riley, visiting from base, wove a web of anonymous drops to journalists. Thorpe went public first, op-ed in the Post, from shadows to light, a general's reckoning. The storm hit hard. Headlines screamed betrayal. Protests swelled outside Capitol Hill. Queer vets and allies chanting, "No more ghosts." Alex testified again, this time with Ethan at his side, their stories intertwining like vines. "My father's silence saved lives," Ethan said, voice steady. "But truth saves souls." The ghosts unraveled, arrests and dawn raids, ledgers seized, the senator resigning in disgrace. In the aftermath, bonds reforged stronger. Thorpe and Ethan rebuilt, weekly dinners laced with apologies and anecdotes. Alex and Jamie adopted a rescue pup, a scruffy mutt named Valor, symbol of strays made whole. One crisp fall night, as leaves danced in the yard, Thorpe visited unannounced, bottle of bourbon in hand. "To saviors," he toasted, clinking glasses with Alex on the porch. "And to letting go." Jamie watched from the door, smiling soft. "You too, unbreakable." Alex pulled him close, the circle complete. But life, like war, held surprises. Months later, a letter from Riley. Transfer approved. DC posting. Room for one more misfit. The squad reunited, a constellation of loves defying the dark. Yet in quiet moments, Alex traced the scar on his shoulder, reminder of dunes and debts. Saving Thorpe had started as duty, bloomed to brotherhood, now rooted in family. Prejudices lingered in boardrooms and backrooms, but they'd cracked the foundation, one act, one truth at a time. Winter clamped down on DC like a vice, snow muffling the city's roar, but inside the Rivera-Thorne household, Jamie's hyphen insistence a quiet rebellion. Warmth fought back with fairy lights and simmering chili. Alex shoveled the drive one December dawn, breath fogging in the chill, when his phone buzzed. Colonel Vargas, voice tinny over the line. "Rivera, need you at the Hill. Briefing on the Ghost's fallout. Brass wants your read." The Hill loomed grand and gray, marble halls echoing footsteps like judgments. Alex navigated security with ease, his consultant badge a hard-won talisman. In a windowless conference room, suits mingled with stars, senators, generals, analysts nursing coffees laced with ambition. Thorpe was there, silver at the temples now, his presence a gravitational pull. Their eyes met, a nod, loaded with history. "Sergeant," an admiral intoned, "your insights on the network's reach?" Alex laid it out crisp, supply lines from Kabul to Quantico, how the ghosts preyed on vulnerabilities, queer service members blackmailed into silence, trans recruits funneled to psych evals. It's not just graft, he said, voice carrying the room's weight. It's erasure. They weaponized our secrets. Murmurs rippled. A senator, face florid, shifted uneasy, rumored ties to the rot. Post-brief, Thorpe cornered him in the corridor, cane absent but limp faint. You speak like you command, Alex. Proud. The use of his name, casual now, still startled, a bridge crossed in blood and bourbon. Learn from the best, sir. They walked out into flurries, Capitol Dome dusted white. Harlan, Thorpe corrected gently. Off the record. Alex tested it. Harlan. Dinner? Jamie's been asking. The meal was a mosaic. Ethan and Kai debating policy over pie, Lena dissecting leaks with surgical glee, Marcus charming the cat with laser pointers. Riley arrived late, buzz cut fresh, hugging Alex fierce. Missed you, Sarge. Squad's not the same without the hero. Laughter flowed, but undercurrents swirled. Vargas, invited as olive branch, eyed the rainbow flag on the mantle like a grenade. Later, as snow piled silent, Harlan lingered on the porch with Alex, cigars glowing like fireflies. Ethan's thriving, got a book deal. But me? Retirement's a cage. His voice dipped, confessional. I dream of that night. Your hands, the sand. Not fear, connection. Alex exhaled smoke, heart twisting. We all carry ghosts, Harlan. But you're not alone anymore. The words hung. A tether. Harlan's hand brushed his, brief, electric, then withdrawn. Not romance, but recognition. Two men who danced with death, finding solace in shared survival. Spring thawed secrets into scandals. The ghost trial dominated feeds, witnesses parading traumas. A lesbian captain drummed out for conduct. A by-lieutenant's career torched over a kiss. Alex testified remotely, his feed steady, Jamie's hand off camera a anchor. These men didn't just steal money, he told the court. They stole dignity. The room, virtual but visceral, absorbed it. The lead prosecutors gnawed a small victory. But backlash brewed. Hate mail flooded Alex's inbox, slurs from anonymous accounts, traitor scrawled on their fence. One night, tires slashed, a brick through the window shattering a photo of the squad. Jamie swept glass, jaw set. They're scared. We hit bone. Alex held him, fury simmering. Call Ethan. We go public. Our story full. The op-ed dropped like a flare, from battlefield to bedroom. A sergeant's fight for truth, co-bylined with Harlan. Intimate, unflinching. Alex's save, the silence, the son's abduction, woven with Harlan's regrets. We are not anomalies. It closed. We are America. Shares exploded. Interviews beckoned. On CNN, Alex faced the anchor's probe. General Thorpe, more than mentor? He smiled, deflecting with grace. Brother, the kind war forges. Twists uncoiled midsummer. Kai, ever the sleuth, uncovered a ghost affiliate in their midst. Vargas's deputy, feeding intel to the network. The betrayal stung. Vargas, who'd signed Alex's honorable discharge, now tainted. Confrontation came in a rain-lashed parking garage. Vargas cornered, face crumpling. I didn't know, Rivera. Swear it. But evidence mounted, emails, drops. For the old ways, the deputy confessed under lights, Vargas collateral in the purge. Harlan took the hit hardest, his old command scrutinized, pensions clawed back. I built this monster, he admitted over whiskey, alone in Alex's study. By looking away, Alex poured another. Then dismantle it. You're the hammer. Alliance deepened. Harlan lobbied for a GLBT vet fund. Alex its face. Speeches at bases, panels with Riley dissecting biases. Lena led trainings. Marcus built apps for anonymous reporting. The squad, unbreakable, turned pain to policy. Jamie's exhibit opening fell in golden September, gallery walls alive with portraits. Alex in fatigues, eyes distant. Harlan's profile, stern yet softened. Ethan's grin, unbowed. Faces of resilience, the plaque read. Crowds milled, toasts raised. In a quiet corner, Harlan pulled Alex aside. Your husband, he's the real hero. Sees you whole. Alex glanced at Jamie, laughing with Kai. We all do now. But equilibrium shattered October's end. A call from Marcus. Explosion at the fund's office. No casualties, but files, gone. Arson, deliberate. Whispers pointed to ghost remnants, a final lash. Alex mobilized, heart leaden. They traced it to a fringe militia, holed in West Virginia hollers, preaching purity in camo. Raid planned, feds in lead, but Alex insisted, our fight. The hollers swallowed them, fog thick as deceit. Standoff brewed at dawn, bullhorns blaring terms. Inside, a leader ranted, ex-officer, face twisted. You queers poison the ranks. Alex stepped forward, megaphone steady. We bled for it. Your poison's fear. Shots cracked. Chaos, but restraint held. Arrests, not altars. Harlan watched from command van, radioing calm. Steady, son. Aftermath healed slow. The fund rebuilt, stronger, donors flooding. Alex and Jamie honeymooned late. Berkshire's cabin, leaves aflame. To us, Jamie toasted, rings glinting. No more hiding. Back home, Ethan announced, Kai and I, adopting. Joy rippled, family expanding. One eve, snow dusting anew, the squad gathered. Riley's promotion, Lena's book deal. Harlan raised glass. To saviors, seen and sung. Alex met his eyes, gratitude profound. The silence that once bound them, shattered to song. The new year dawned brittle, resolutions cracking under reality's boot. Alex woke to Jamie's sketchpad abandoned on the quilt, pages filled with militia faces, not vengeance, but witness. Art as armor, Jamie murmured, kissing his temple. Downstairs, Valor yipped at the door, tail a blur. Outside, DC slushed toward spring, but shadows lingered, ghost trials dragging, verdicts pending, hate groups splintering into whispers. Harlan's advisory role expanded. White House briefings on resilience initiatives, his voice gravel authority in velvet gloves. They're listening, he told Alex over lunch at a deli near the mall, pastrami steaming. But change crawls. Alex nodded, for pausing. Crawls win wars. Their lunches became ritual, brothers in arms dissecting headlines. A trans admiral's confirmation fight, by rep in Congress rising like tide. Ethan's adoption hit snags, agency hesitance, family stability, codes for bias. Kai vented over beers at the house, eyes fierce. They see us as experiments. Alex leaned in. Fight it. We've got precedent. He connected them to Lena, now policy wonk, drafting briefs. The battle wore them. Home studies invasive, interviews probing. One night, rejection letter in hand. Ethan cracked. Am I poisoned too, Dad? Harlan, visiting, pulled him close. Never. You're light. Alex mediated, drawing from his own custody dreams deferred by deployments. Build your case. Stories over stats. They did. Video diaries, squad testimonials. Marcus edited montages, Riley narrated. Approval came fragile. A baby girl named Nova, starborn, fitting. Baptism by barbecue. The yard alive with coups and chaos. Alex held her, tiny fist clutching his finger. Welcome, kid. World's rough, but family's fierce. Spring bloomed thorns. A ghost ringleader walked. Plea deal, technicality. Outrage boiled. Protests clogged streets. Alex at the fore with megaphone. Justice deferred ain't justice. Clashes erupted. Tear gas stinging, baton swinging. Jamie pulled him back, eyes wild. Not like this. We build, not burn. But the bruise on Alex's ribs echoed the old wound. Progress, fragile as truce. Twist struck Memorial Day weekend. An envelope arrived, unmarked. Photos of Alex and Harlan. Lunches, porches, hands brushing. Captions scrawled. More than brothers? Forged intimacy, Dr. DeSmear. Sender anonymous, but watermark traced to a tabloid hack with militia ties. Panic flickered. Jamie's face paled. They'll twist anything. Harlan stormed over, photos ash in the fireplace. Let them. Truth's our shield. They countered aggressive. Press conference. Alex and Harlan shoulder to shoulder. These lies? Desperation from the dark, Alex said, voice steel. We've nothing to hide. Our bonds forged in fire, not fiction. Harlan echoed. Slander seeks to divide what duty united. Feeds lit up supportive, allies amplified. But private toll mounted. Jamie's nightmares, Harlan's isolation, Ethan's protectiveness turning parental. Riley, ever the bridge, suggested retreat. Squad camping trip, Shenandoah shadows. Tents pitched by river, fires crackling stories. Lena confessed a breakup, vulnerability raw. Love's a battlefield too. Marcus shared by erasure pains, Kai's trans joys. Around embers, Harlan opened. I envied you, Alex. Your openness with Jamie, what I never claimed. Alex tossed a stick to the flames. Claim it now. Life's short. Return brought bloom. Nova's first steps at a fun gala, guests melting. A donor, queer billionaire, pledged millions for the Riveras who started it. Alex keynote. From one save to salvation for thousands. Applause thundered. Backstage, Jamie kissed him breathless. My hero. Summer scorched secrets anew. Vargas, cleared but scarred, reached out. Coffee? Clear my name. Meet at a park, benches worn. I failed you, he admitted, mustache twitching. Old ways die hard. Alex forgave measured. Help now. Mentor the next. Vargas did, training modules on bias, his gruff voice gold. But high tide crested August. Senator's aide, ghost-linked, leaked Ethan's adoption files, invasive, damning. Custody challenge filed, agency buckling to pressure. Courtroom loomed, judge stern. Ethan testified, voice breaking, Nova's ours. Blood or not. Kai echoed. Harlan flanked them. Stars invisible but weighty. Alex's turn. Family's choice, not chance. We chose her. Through fire. Verdict held. Custody affirmed. Sanctions on leakers. Jubilation, but exhaustion. Post-trial, bar crawl cathartic. Shots slammed. Toast to tenacity. Riley danced with a stranger, sparks flying. Squad expands. Marcus grinned. Fall painted redemption. Harlan's memoir deal. Silent commands. Ghost written by Ethan. Launch packed. Alex toasting. To voices unchained. Jamie's next exhibit. Bonds unbroken. Harlan's portrait central. Eyes meeting Alex's across canvas. A nod eternal. One eve. Leaves swirling. Alex and Jamie walked the mall. Hands linked. We made waves, Jamie said. Alex squeezed. Tsunamis. Behind, the dome stood sentinel. America, flawed, but theirs. Autumn's gold gave way to winter's bite, but the Rivera home glowed defiant, strings of lights warding chill. Nova toddled now, Ethan's shadow, her giggles a balm for fractures. Alex balanced consulting with fatherhood dreams deferred. Jamie's latest pitch, surrogate or foster? Talks deepened, vulnerabilities bared over cocoa. Harlan's memoir stirred hornets. Excerpts dropped, his fluidity hints, DADT regrets. Backlash barked, Fox rants, op-eds decrying woke brass. Protests at bookstores, counter-rallies by vets. Alex shielded, social scrolls a minefield. They're afraid of mirrors, he posted, likes flooding. Twist uncoiled Thanksgiving. Dinner sprawled, squad full, tables groaning turkey. Midway, Kai's phone. Harlan? Call. Face drained. Heart attack. Stable but chaos. Hospital dash. Ethan white-knuckled wheel. ER waited sterile. Harlan pale in gown. Monitors beeping steady. Foolish ticker, he rasped, gripping Alex's hand. Missed the pies. Vigil bonded them. Stories swapped in vinyl chairs. Ethan confessed. Dad's letter, forgiving my marches. Jamie sketched Harlan sleeping, peace captured. Dawn brought transfer to ward, recovery scripted. But discharge revealed. Stress-induced, doc's warning. Slow down, general. Harlan heeded partial. Advisory cut. Time for Kai's brunches, Nova's chaos. Alex visited weekly, chessboards clacking strategy. Your move, Harlan say, eyes twinkling. Like that night, bold. Alex countered. Check. We both survive. New Year pivoted. Jamie's fertility quest. Clinic visits, hopes pinned. Our Nova, he'd say. Ultrasound's grainy promises. Alex held fears close. Legacy loss. Squad supported. Lena's stats on queer families thriving. Riley's tales of chosen kin. Spring scandalized. Memoir full release. Harlan on tour. Atlanta stop. Hecklers stormed, slurs flying. Security swarmed. Alex, in town training, arrived fists clenched. Back off, he roared, shielding. Scuffle brief, but viral. Sergeant saves general again. Irony bit. Headlines twisted. Bromance or more? Damage control. Joint interview. NPR calm. Friendship forged in fire, Harlan said. Alex added. Labels limit. Love expands. Listeners called in, stories mirroring, tears shared. Backlash eased, allies grew. Summer sweltered tension. Foster approval came. Teen boy, Jordan, 16, trans and wary. Home visit. Bunk beds built, rules gentle. Jordan arrived guarded, backpack clutched. Won't stay long, he muttered. But dinner's thawed. Jamie's art lessons. Alex's wore yarn sans gore. You fought for this? Jordan asked, binder chest rising. Alex nodded. For you. Bond bloomed jagged. Jordan's old scars, dead name echoes, Foster hops. Nightmares woke him. Alex sat vigil, stories soothing. Squad adopted. Marcus gaming marathons, Lena pride flag sewn. Harlan mentored. Strength's quiet, son. Jordan softened, first smile cracking. Thanks, Pops. But storm brewed August. Jordan's bio dad surfaced. Custody bid, bigotry fueled. Court again, testimonies layered. Jordan spoke, voice steel, their home. Judge ruled, stability wins. Tears post-verdict. Jordan hugged Alex. Family. Fall healed. Jordan's school play. Hamlet. Him as Prince. Fierce. Applause roared. Harlan front row. Proud. Post-show. Diner debrief. Laughs. Onion rings. To Prince's, Ethan toasted. Winter-wrapped gifts. Jamie's pregnancy confirmed. IVF miracle. Our quartet. He beamed. Alex knelt. Ear to belly. Little warrior. Harlan's health rallied. Group hike. Canes traded for staves. Summit view. DC sprawl. Lives woven. We climbed, Harlan said. Alex grinned. Together. One snowed eve. Squad reunited. Jordan's coming out cake. Though out since day one. Candles flickered. Wishes whispered. Alex met Jamie's eyes. Whole. Spring unfurled petals and possibilities. Cherry blossoms carpeting the tidal basin like confetti from forgotten parades. Jordan thrived at school. Debate club star. Binder now a badge of battles won. Home pulsed fuller. Jamie's belly rounding. Kicks like Morse code promises. Alex traced patterns. Whispering futures to the unborn. You'll know only truth. Harlan's routine steadied. Yoga, begrudging. Memoirs sequel brewing. Your chapter? He asked Alex over brunch, mimosas bubbling. Nah, I'm the footnote. Harlan chuckled. Footnotes topple empires. Their rhythm, easy now, laced with depth, debates on policy, confessions over coffee. Ethan's book tour with Kai, podcasts probing, crowds curious. Nova tagged along, babble charming hosts. Uncle Alex saved Grandpa, she'd declare, facts fuzzy but fierce. Back home, video calls. Tell the Dune story. Alex spins sanitized spins, laughter bridging miles. Twist tangled May. Anonymous tip to Alex. Ghosts rising. New cell, targeting families. Chills. Jordan's school. Jamie's clinic. Lena dug. Forum chatter. Coded meats. Domestic front, she warned. Alex briefed Harlan. Old instincts flared. We map it. Squad mobilized. Marcus geotracked posts. Riley deep-faked decoys. Jordan, looped partial, drew maps. Teen hacker prodigy. Got your back, Pops. Tension coiled. Patrols self-imposed. Eyes scanning shadows. Climax crested June solstice. Intel pinpointed rally. Rural fairground. Militia masks. Feds looped, but Alex insisted embed. Our ghosts. Undercover. Harlan's contacts gold. Infiltration. Alex in flannel. Mike hidden. Chance rose. Purity now. Leader unmasked. Ex-ghost. Venom fresh. Rivera's next. Abominations. Signal sent. Raid thundered. Arrests swift. Evidence damning. Post-op. Safe house debrief. Jordan hugged tight. Scared. Alex asked. Nah. Squad strong. Harlan clasped shoulders. Echoes of us, son. Aftermath. Trials accelerated. Cells crushed. Media hailed. Vets vanquish hate. Alex demurred. Community. Jamie's due date neared. Nest feathered anxious. July heat birth joy. Labor long, but dawn. Baby girl, Elena, light. Jamie cradled her, exhausted radiant. Alex wept, squad crowding hall. Aunt Lena. Uncle Marcus. Harlan held last. Eyes soft. My legacies. Summer softened scars. Jordan's graduation. Cap tassel swing. Speech soaring. Family chose me. I choose back. Diplomas clutched. College bound. Art like Jamie's. Pride swelled. Barbecue bash, grills smoking triumphs. Fall fermented futures. Harlan's sequel. Echoes endure. Alex is forward. From silence to symphony. Launch intimate. Book signed heartfelt. Ethan proposed to Kai mid-toast. Ring simple, yes tearful. Winter whispered closures. Jordan homebreaks, Elena cooing. One eve, snow blanketing. Harlan visited. Retiring fully. Time for living. Alex hugged, about damn time. Squad's annual. Cabin fever, games raucous. Stories looped, dunes to daughters. Riley announced engagement. Lena's partner, quiet poet. To expansions, toasts rang. As midnight tolled, Alex and Jamie on porch, Elena bundled. Our empire, Jamie murmured. Alex kissed forehead, unbreakable. Years folded like flags. Elena's firsts, Jordan's weddings. Him and soulmate, trans love twin flames. Harlan danced, Kane prop. Ethan parented Nova fierce, Kai's calm counter. Alex's legacy, foundation grown, chapters trained. Harlan's too, scholarships named. Squad scattered but tethered, calls constant, reunions ritual. One golden autumn, dunes revisited. Afghan memorial, sands symbolic. Harlan and Alex stood, winds whispering. Saved each other, Harlan said. Alex nodded, still do. Homeward, circle complete. Love's layered, prejudice's dust. In the Rivera hearth, fire crackled stories. Bravery's arc, from silence to song eternal.